Dreams demand sweat. You don't have to see the whole staircase, just take the first step. That first step may be shaky, it may be small, but it's the only way forward. Most people sit at the bottom of the staircase, staring up, waiting for a perfect moment, a clear path, a sign. But success doesn't show up with directions. It shows up when you start climbing, when you get your hands dirty, when you choose action over comfort. A dream is only a seed, and sweat your effort, your discipline, your daily grind is the water that grows it. Wishing won't do it, talking about it isn't enough. Vision boards, affirmations, and planning have their place, but without action they're just decoration. The real work begins when you commit to the climb. When you wake up earlier than you want, when you stay longer than you need, when you practice after the crowd has gone home and no one's watching. That's when dreams are built. You think the greats had it all figured out. They didn't. They just started. They tripped, they failed, they stumbled. But they didn't stop. They learned, they adjusted, they kept sweating. Every late night, every early morning, every sacrifice, they added up. Because while others were waiting to see the whole staircase, they took one step, then another and another, until they found themselves living in the dream they once imagined. Most people give up not because they can't do it, but because they don't want it bad enough to bleed for it. The truth, dreams cost. They cost your comfort, your ego, your excuses, and the currency is effort. People will doubt you, you'll doubt yourself, but your sweat will speak when words can't. Your consistency will answer when no one believes. That first step is terrifying because it's uncertain, it's messy, but that's where confidence is born, not in perfection, but in the doing. Take that step tired, take it scared, take it unprepared, but take it. Because motion creates clarity, progress creates power, and sweat creates results. If you're waiting for someone to hand you your dream, let this be your wake-up call. No one's coming to build it for you. No one's climbing those stairs for you. It's on you, and that's not something to fear. That's something to embrace, because if it's up to you, it means you don't have to wait. You can start now. You don't need the whole staircase. Just the courage to take one step, then another, and to keep going when it gets hard, when it gets lonely, when no one claps for you. Because if you keep sweating, you'll keep rising. And one day you'll look back at the climb, the struggle, the grind, the silent nights, and you'll realize you didn't just reach your dream, you became it. Discipline is louder than motivation. You don't have to see the whole staircase, just take the first step. Because motivation is a spark, it comes and goes. It gets you excited, it gives you a rush, but it doesn't last. Discipline, on the other hand, is the engine. It doesn't ask how you feel. It doesn't care if you're tired, uninspired, or unsure. It just says, let's go. Too many people wait around for the perfect mood, the right vibe, the magical feeling that'll get them moving. But that moment rarely comes, and when it does, it doesn't stay. That's where most dreams die, not from a lack of talent or vision, but from a lack of discipline. Because discipline shows up when motivation walks out. It doesn't need permission. It doesn't rely on inspiration. It just moves. Taking that first step doesn't mean you'll know where it ends. It means you trust the process more than your feelings. Discipline trains you to show up regardless of emotion, when it's cold, when it's raining, when no one's watching. When the hype is gone and the music fades, discipline is still there, grinding, building, growing. That's where greatness is made, in the unglamorous, uncelebrated moments when you choose effort over ease. You think the ones who make it are always inspired. No, they're often exhausted, uncertain, frustrated, but they keep going, not because they're driven by motivation, but because they're led by commitment. Discipline is setting the alarm and getting up anyway. It's writing when you don't feel creative, training when you're sore, showing up when quitting would be easier. It's quiet, but it's powerful, and the beauty of discipline is that it compounds. Every small act done consistently adds up. Every time you choose action over excuses, you build a stronger version of yourself. The person who takes the first step despite doubt. The one who climbs even when the top isn't in sight. That kind of person doesn't need motivation. They become the kind of person who others are motivated by. You don't need to see the whole staircase to be disciplined. You just need to trust that one step leads to the next. Maybe you're not where you want to be yet, and maybe you're unsure of what's ahead. That's okay. Take the step. Let discipline carry you forward when motivation disappears. Let your consistency speak louder than your feeling. Because in the end, the difference between the people who dream and the people who do isn't motivation. It's discipline. Motivation starts the fire. Discipline keeps it burning. And if you stay consistent, step by step, brick by brick, you'll build a future that's bigger than the one you dreamed about. Not because you waited for the right feeling, but because you took the right step. Again and again, fail forward. You don't have to see the whole staircase, just take the first step. The truth is, failure is not the enemy. It's the teacher, it's the process. It's the path to everything worthwhile. But most people are so afraid to fall that they never climb. They stay stuck at the bottom, waiting for guarantees, waiting for safety. But there's no such thing as a risk-free dream. If you want to grow, you've got to move. And when you move, you're going to fall. That's not a weakness. That's how you learn. Nobody makes it to the top without stumbling. Every champion has tasted defeat. Every success story has chapters filled with setbacks. But the difference is, they didn't let failure define them. They used it, they fell forward, every mistake became a lesson. Every loss became a foundation. Every fall moved them closer to the goal, because forward is forward, even if you hit the ground on the way. It's easy to fear failure when all you see is the highlight reel. But behind every shining moment is a mountain of silent struggle. Missed shots, wrong turns, embarrassing missteps. But those moments are not wasted. They're necessary. They reveal what you need to sharpen. They force growth. They humble you, and they harden you in the right way. Not bitter, but better. Taking the first step without knowing the full path is terrifying. But waiting for the perfect plan only delays your purpose. Progress doesn't come from standing still. It comes from falling, adjusting, and moving again. The staircase isn't meant to be fully visible. That's faith, that's courage, and the ones who rise are the ones who trust that even failure can move them forward. You won't always get it right. That's not the goal. The goal is to keep going. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to be bold enough to begin. Every failure you're afraid of is already preparing you for what you asked for. The lessons you need can't be learned in comfort. They are earned in the climbing, the slip, in the stumble, in the silent decision to try again when everything in you wants to quit. Fail forward. That means fall, but don't fall back. Fall with intention. Fall with purpose. Let every crash be a step, not a wall. Let every no bring you closer to the yes. Let every delay sharpen your discipline, not destroy your drive. The world doesn't belong to the fearless. It belongs to the relentless, the ones who took the hit and got back up, the ones who didn't need to see the top to start the climb. They understood one truth: you don't lose when you fall, you lose when you stop stepping. So fail forward, step by step, fall, rise, and move again, because failure isn't the opposite of success, it's the staircase to it. Excuses are easy, effort is rare. You don't have to see the whole staircase, just take the first step. Because truthfully, anyone can come up with a reason not to start. Anyone can explain why it's too late, too early, too hard, or too risky. Excuses don't take talent. They don't require discipline. They don't cost energy. That's why they're so common. But effort demands something real. It costs you, it stretches you, it makes you uncomfortable. And that's exactly why so few people are willing to give it. Excuses are the language of almost, of maybe, of one day. But one day becomes never when all you do is talk about what you could do. Effort, on the other hand, is action. It's showing up when no one asked you to. It's putting in work when no one is watching. It's choosing progress over pride, discipline over comfort, and execution over excuses. You don't need a full plan. You don't need the staircase fully lit. All you need is the courage to take the first step. And most people don't lack ability. They lack action. They wait for motivation to strike, for conditions to be perfect, for someone to hand them an opportunity. But life doesn't work like that. Life gives to the worker, not the whiner, not the excuse maker, the worker. You'll never run out of reasons not to try. But excuses don't move you. They don't build anything. They don't get you closer to who you're meant to become. All they do is protect your ego while robbing your future. You want something real? Trade your excuses for effort. Stop saying you're too busy and start managing your time like it matters. Stop saying you're tired and start showing up like your dream depends on it, because it does. Effort is rare because it hurts. It takes sacrifice. It takes discipline when you feel lazy. It takes focus when your friends are distracted. It takes guts to keep going when you're not getting results yet. But that's what separates those who dream from those who do. The ones who step forward, no matter how small that step is, are the ones who eventually rise. You don't have to take the whole staircase in one leap. Just take that first step. That small act of effort might not look like much now, but stack enough of those steps and one day you'll be standing where others only wished they could go. While they were making excuses, you were making moves. So let others talk. Let them doubt. Let them wait. You've got work to do, not because it's easy, but because effort changes things. It changes you, and the more you give, the more you grow. In the end, it's simple. You can make excuses, or you can make progress, but you can't do both. So take the step. Put in the effort, because results aren't found in the excuse. They're found in the climb. Pressure makes diamond. You don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step. Because the truth is, greatness is not born in comfort. It's shaped in pressure. It's forged in silence, in setbacks, in struggle. And most people run from pressure, not realizing it's the very thing that will build them into who they were meant to be. The pressure you feel, that weight on your shoulders, it's not meant to crush you. It's meant to craft you. You can't expect to shine without going through the heat. Diamonds don't form on the surface. They're made deep underground, under intense force and time. The same is true for you. You want strength. You want resilience. You want the kind of grit that separates you from the rest. Then understand this. The pressure you're under right now is part of the process. Don't wait to see the entire staircase. You'll never take the first step if you're waiting for it to be easy. Start where you are, with the fear, with the uncertainty, with the pressure. That's where real character is born. Not when everything is smooth, but when nothing is certain and you show up anyway. People talk about wanting success, but they avoid the grind that comes with it. The late nights, the early mornings, the tough decisions, the lonely roads. Pressure isn't punishment, it's preparation. It's the test that reveals whether you're serious or just curious, whether you're hungry or just hoping. Everyone wants to shine, but few are willing to go through what shining requires. Pressure will make you uncomfortable. It will stretch you. It will bring out your doubts, your fears, your insecurities. But here's the thing. When you stay in the fire long enough, it doesn't just expose your weaknesses, it strengthens what's left. It purifies, it focuses, and when you come out the other side, you won't just be tougher. You will be unshakable. Taking the first step under pressure is the hardest part. You'll second-guess yourself. You'll wonder if it's worth it. But trust this, the climb is shaping you every step of the way. The pressure you feel today will become the pride you carry tomorrow. The very thing you thought would break you will be what builds you. And when people see your shine, they'll have no idea how deep you had to go, how much weight you had to carry, how many nights you had to push through just to take one more step. So don't fear the pressure. Embrace it, let it mold you, let it sharpen your focus, ignite your drive, and push you toward the next level. You don't have to know every step ahead. Just trust that with every ounce of pressure you withstand, you're becoming something rare, something valuable, something unbreakable, because in the end, pressure doesn't just test you, it transforms you, and what once felt heavy will one day be the very proof that you didn't just survive, you became a diamond. The process is the prize. You don't have to see the whole staircase, just take the first step, because what you're chasing is not just a goal, it's who you become on the way to it. Most people focus so hard on the destination, they miss the transformation. They think the prize is the money, the recognition, the success, but the real reward is hidden in the work, the long nights, the setbacks, the growth that happens when no one's watching. That's where the gold is. Everybody wants the finish line, but the ones who make it are the ones who fall in love with the miles. The journey is not always glamorous. It's slow, it's quiet, it's filled with uncertainty, but that's where character is built. That's where habits are formed, that's where grit is born. You don't get to greatness by skipping steps. You earn it one grind at a time, one sacrifice at a time, one decision at a time. You don't have to see the top of the staircase to commit to the climb. Just take the first step. Wake up when you don't want to. Do the work when no one claps. Stay focused when the world tries to distract you, because every single step matters. Not just the ones that feel good, not just the wins. Every stumble, every doubt, every lonely hour when you choose discipline over comfort. It's all part of the prize. See, the process strips you down, it humbles you, it tests you, it asks you, how bad do you really want it? And when you answer with action, not words, that's when the shift happens. That's when you start to change. Not just your results, but your mindset, your resilience, your belief in yourself. Most people give up not because they don't want the dream, but because they don't respect the process. They're in love with the outcome, not the work, but the outcome doesn't show up without the work. You can't cheat the climb, you can't fake the reps. The process knows if you've been honest, and the ones who stay with it, step by step, those are the ones who win. Even when the staircase looks endless, even when the results are invisible, the process is doing its job. It's shaping you, it's sharpening you. You're becoming someone who doesn't wait for permission, someone who doesn't fold under pressure, someone who keeps showing up even in the dark, and one day you'll realize you're not just proud of the destination. You're proud of how you got there, the discipline, the effort, the climb. That's the prize. The process made you, the process revealed you, so don't rush it. Don't resist it, embrace it, trust it, because the moment you stop looking only at the top and start valuing every step, that's when the journey becomes the reward. That's when you realize the process was never in the way. The process was always the way.